Hey everyone, I am Seikun. Welcome to part 5 of Tegami, also known as The Letter. Last time when we left off, basically what happened was we talked with our dad and we had a good conversation. He knows we're his son from the future, I guess, and we're back in the past. We have talked with our younger version of ourselves, and yeah, let's see what's going to happen. By the way, I almost cried like 3 or 4 times last episode, so if you want to see that, make sure to check out the previous parts before you watch this one. It's a pretty awesome story, and let's continue right where we left off. Little guy and I spent all day together after that, from dawn until dusk. We had somen for dinner. Tamagayaki, cucumbers, and sesame oil on the side. Ravishingly cold and ravishingly delicious for a hot summer day. Little guy started getting drowsy after we'd filled our bellies to bursting. Oh, God. I'm sorry I didn't read it. God damn it. We can go back, can we? We can. Shit. Okay then. Let's save it. You can save in this game? I didn't even know that. Shit. The nights are nice and cool here. I commented half to myself. I walked along the road briskly. Soon enough I came across a face that I knew well by now. In this world awash with silver light reflected from high above. Father. Ah, so you came out to meet me, he said casually. No, I retorted. I was just out on a walk. Father just laughed and slapped me on the back with approval. It hurt like hell. So strong, so straightforward, and so loving. I've been such a fool for all this time. How had I so completely misunderstood him? How had I so completely missed the fact that he was a great man? The moon's silver light flooded down on us as I pondered on this, and as we started on the road back home together. I must have been tired that night. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I was lulled by the still of night. Maybe it's a bit of an inside joke, but for those of you guys, you know, lull in my country, in my language, means dick. Anyways, let's continue. A little bit of an inside joke there. There was a disaster. A car with only one headlight on came barreling towards us at top speed. There were embankments to either side. Father was the first to react. Takahiro, he yelled, get out of the way! I felt a terrible crash. That was Father pushing me as hard as he could. I tumbled down the embankment. I felt a terrible crash. That was Father, hurled up like a ragdoll through the air. And like a horrible movie playing in slow motion, without a stop button inside, Father's body crumpled onto the ground, twitched, and it was still. I felt myself screaming, Father! 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 As I rushed to his side, my feet got tangled in something. I fell hard. It hurt like hell. I got back up. Nothing was going to stop me now. Father was right ahead of me. There was blood everywhere on his body, soaking the ground. Not even the moon's silver light could hide or gloss over this hideous red. Sorry about that if you hear a little bit of a ding, bell. It's my phone. It was then that everything became clear. There was no more future for Father now. Is he going to die now? Is this how it ends? Yes, Takahiro. This is how it ends. Father. All these thoughts were crashing through my head. I didn't know anything anymore. My eyes were too heavy with tears for me to see anything. So I felt, rather than saw, Father smiling up at me as he said, Thank you, Takahiro. What? I croaked. This is the first time you'd ever called me Father. Oh, I managed. It was about all I could say. There are tears in my eyes right now. I always knew, he whispered, his voice getting weaker by the moment, that you wanted to spend time with me. Sorry. I grabbed his hands. Words failed me. You've made your father very happy, my son, he continued. You've grown to be such a splendid young man. He smiled weakly. Why'd you do it? I cried. Why'd you save me? What kind of man would give his life for his son? Wouldn't give his life for his son, he yelled back, with the last kernel of his strength. It's not fair, I screamed. We both yelled at each other now. Me in grief and loss, and him in love and kindness. Such love and kindness that I couldn't understand it. Father coughed, letting out a gout of blood. There was nothing I could do now. I have a request for you, Father whispered. All spent now. I managed, startled. My voice was quavering. I was doing everything I could to keep myself from crying. Maybe I'd convinced myself that maybe, just maybe if I didn't cry, things might turn around. But Father already knew better. This is the end of the road for me, he murmured. I know my body, my son. No way, I yelled back. You're going to be okay. God, I'm crying. Takahiro, thank you, he whispered with a smile. There was so much blood everywhere, the most horrifying sight I'd ever seen. But Father, he just kept smiling. Will you do what I say, he continued. Anything, I replied. I'm not going to cry, damn it. Tell Mom that I died doing my job. So Mom and little guy will be able to accept it. Do this. He wanted to tell me a lie. For my sake. More importantly, give little guy your words. Your words are mine. You're the only one who can do this. God, I'm fucking crying. Can you guys see it? God damn it. Hi. Okay, Father. I didn't have the wherewithal for words anymore. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't you dare cry. I kept repeating that to myself, as if it were some kind of spell or incantation. I shut my eyes as tightly as I could to make sure no tears would fall from my eyes. But it was far too late for that. Be a straight shooter, my son. Laugh loudly when you're happy, and cry loudly when you're sad. That's the only honest way. And now that no man could have asked for a better son, and know that no man could have asked for a better son. Father sat, that same gentle smile on his face. Me too, Father. I'm so lucky to have a father like you. And I did as he commanded. I cried out, I screamed, I yelled. At the top of my lungs, from the bottom of my soul. And as I did that, Father's grasp on my hand grew weaker and weaker, until, at last, the gentle light of his mortal soul flickered, faded, and disappeared. I knew it was too late. But it didn't matter. I started saying things to him, things that would stay with me for the rest of my life, things that I had to say. Father, I'm going to become a man like you. I'm going to make sure. To take the words you wrote for me to heart, they'll be my treasure. This is so fucking hard. It's hard talking when you're crying. I don't want to be without you, and Mom doesn't want to be without you too. Come on, Father. Get up. Come on, wake up. I swear now I understand everything. And after that, it was all tears. Tears and cries so loud that I felt like my lungs would be ripped out. I couldn't stop this if I tried. No, I couldn't even try. Only someone more distant to his father than I'd become could claim something like that. I wept because I was sad. I was sad because I loved my father. That was all that was within me. It took a long time before I calmed down, but when I did, I realized that there was something I had to do. Let's do this, I whispered. Because I wasn't helpless. There was something I had to do. Had to. The moon shone down, filling the land with the same silver light, but now the only shadow around was mine. Father's was ended. Cut short at the beginning of summer. The evening, winds tore at my body with eerie force, and a cold winter chill knifed through my heart. Forever. The next morning, Father lay in state at home, under thick blankets, even though it was the middle of summer. Any life that had been in his body was now ended, but his smile would never end. Yes, he was still smiling inside my heart, smiling forever and ever. And so I wrote a letter for Takahiro, in Father's words, in my words. My handwriting was so much like Father's. There were 3 things he charged me with. One of them was done. I'd already told Mom what had happened. Now it was time for me to carry out the other 2. So I picked up my pen and wrote. I hate the word cute, but I love the word interesting. God. Fuck. I hate it when you open up your diary and write it was so hot that day. But I love the season itself. I hate loud noises, but when their voices raised in hated argument, I don't mind them so much. I hate those who tear you down with their words and actions, but I love those who quietly build you up even when you don't deserve it. I hate being called a simpleton, but I'd rather be a simpleton than someone who uses his God-given talents to take advantage of others. I hate working hard, but I hate laziness so much more than that. I hate it when you blame others for your failings, but I love it when you keep moving forward no matter what. I hate the fact that soon you'll be gone, never to return. So these are my last words of love to you. My last letter. God, there's more? I came to Takahiro shortly before evening. I told him that father's funeral would be in the morning, and I began to execute the third and last command father had given me. No, Takahiro, mind if we talk? Okay, he replied. There was no energy in that voice, and his eyes were red-rimmed and full of tears. He'd probably been crying since late last night. He'd probably not slept either. He must have been exhausted. And I didn't blame him. I wasn't in much better shape. How could it be? How could I forget father's love, his strength, his greatness, just because he passed away? We walked out of the house and down the road. We didn't exchange a word. The cicadas were in the full chorus around us. I stopped at the top of the hill next to the post box. Then I turned to Takahiro. It was time. This is your father's will, and this is my will, so take this, treasure it always. Can you promise? This? Takahiro asked, and he looked at the envelope I'd given him with some amount of consternation. It's a letter, I explained. Yeah, he replied. So what did he write? Read it when you get back. I know you'll understand, I replied coolly. Huh? Takahiro looked at me again, now with puzzlement. Now I'd come full circle. The letter of his world, and the letter of my world were now one and the same. But that was fine. I'd given Takahiro everything honest that was within me. And now I had one last thing left to do. Right, the shrine. I began walking away. Where are you going? Takahiro asked plaintively. Home's over that way, you know. I stopped walking. I didn't turn around. I'm going home. Huh? Takahiro yelped. I told you I'm going home, I repeated patiently. You're leaving us? He cried out. He sounded as if I just told him that the end of the world had come. Yeah, I'm going home, I confirmed. Tell your mom thank you for me, will you? No way, he shouted. Don't leave me! I kept my face turned away from his the entire time, because I didn't want him to see the tears running down from my face. Listen to me, I said as firmly as I could. Never forget that your father loved you, you hear me? Okay, he whispered back. And be good to your mom, you hear? Okay, he managed in a low voice, so I cut him off and I yelled, Louder! I will! I will, he yelled back. I believe you now, I said, with a smile and a trace of father's warmth. Takahiro said hesitantly. Big guy? I didn't say anything in reply. No, I couldn't say anything in reply. My time with him had been so short, but in that time we'd become such good friends. No, more than that. We were closer now than brothers. I knew it to be true. That was why it was so hard to leave now. Finally, Takahiro continued. We'll meet again someday, right? Yeah, I managed. I promise. Well, I'll never meet you again, but you'll certainly meet me soon enough. And if that wasn't the truth, I didn't know what was. The sun had pretty much set by now. Now it was twilight. The clouds were ablaze with the pink and oranges of the day dying. Just beautiful. The bright red of the mailbox seemed to concentrate those colors, reaffirm them, embrace them. And in the west darkness painted the clouds with midnight blues and blacks. It was going to rain soon. No, that was quite right. It was going to do much more than just rain. I finally turned to Takahiro and said, See you around, man. Takahiro looked up and replied, Alright. Bye-bye. Jane. There were tears in his eyes. I went one way, he went the other. Slowly but surely. I never turned my head to look at him after that, and somehow I knew that he never turned his head either. We now made our own footprints on the road, separated from each other. To each the life he was made to live. God. It was already raining cats and dogs by the time I got to the shrine. Oh god, some little bit of rock. That was the country for you. Sunny one moment, rainy the next. I started walking up the stairs, but I stopped when I was halfway up. In other words, on the exact spot where I had started to tumble that he propelled me into the past. Alright, this should set me back in time, I think. To my time, I think. Well, I didn't have much confidence in it, but this was the last thing I had to do. I wasn't about to let a little thing like implausibility stop me. I took a deep breath. Man, I'm excited to do this. I could feel the cold of the stone stairs seeping into my body. No, actually I'm scared. Well, no going back now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! I threw myself down the stairs and landed in an unceremonious heap on my face. Hurt like hell, but nothing happened. That didn't work. Alright, one more time. So I climbed up the stairs again, threw myself off again, landed in an unceremonious heap again. But on my nose this time. Oh man. I groaned aloud any harder and it would have been a massive nosebleed. Was I stuck here? No way, I was going to let that happen. Alright, third time's a charm. So I climbed up the stairs again, threw myself off again, landed in an unceremonious heap again. Now I was in a world of pain. I didn't have enough strength left even to scream. Besides, my body was screaming loudly enough on its own anyhow. So I climbed up this. Never mind. You know how this goes by now, and you know how it ends too. Alright. I give up. This hurts too much. And really, I was at my limit here. Couldn't do this anymore. Nothing to it. Time to go back. As this was clearly an exercise in futility. Well, maybe I'll try again tomorrow. I started dragging myself back to Little Guy's place. But then I stopped in my tracks. When I saw something incredible. Rather, when I didn't see something incredible, the mailbox on top of the hill was gone. My bruised face broke into a rueful smile. I didn't know whether I was happy or disappointed with his turn of events. Man, talk about mixed feelings. The moon was full. I'm going to continue, by the way. Maybe take it up to 20 minutes. If it doesn't stop there, I'll make another part. It hurts my eyes just to look up at it. The stars twinkled faintly and faded, knowing how outclassed they were by the radiance of the moon. The world was filled with silver strands of light, and I rushed on home. Mom was waiting for me on the porch. A look of worry and relief filled her face when she saw me. You've been out late, Takahiro, she said. Sorry, Mom, I managed. The moment she heard my voice, Mom smiled happily. She stayed that way for a moment and then said, Oh, dinner's ready. I made your favorite. For my part, I felt my lips twisting into a wry smile, and I said the only thing that came to mind. What? Not croquets again? Oh, silly, she giggled. You say that every single time. But then, you don't even leave a crumb. I burst out laughing as well. I looked at her for a moment. She was a little thinner than she was in the past, but all the important things were the same. Her warmth, her gentleness, her motherly kindness, her love, and her most beautiful smile. There was Mom, crybaby, worrywart, incredible cook, warm, loving, kind. Mom I'd always known. There was Father, strong and straightforward, full of energy and honor. The father I'd never have known if not for what had happened. And finally there was me, a spoiled little brat, filled to bursting with loving kindness of my parents. I understood now. This was my family. The past, the future, Mom, Father, Little Guy. I was with my family now. I was sure of it now. I would never forget. I looked up at the sky. The moon swayed and shimmered on its gossamer swing of stars as a gentle evening wind sang through the air. It carried the unmistakable voice of autumn, gently tugging at the summer's shoulder to let it know that time was up. I felt like I'd lost something. I felt like I'd gained something. I felt all mixed up, so I said, Tadaima, Gachan. So she replied, Okae nasai, Takahiro. And I told myself it was time for new footsteps, new paths. My future would surely unfold in this world of so many wonders, this world of the letter. Is this the last fade out? God dang it! You fucking make me cry, game. Wataru, you are one son of a bitch. I love you. Freaking love you. Love this game. Honestly. God damn it. I played this in one go. This was some really, really fucking amazing stuff. God. So, I really appreciate it if you guys let me know what you guys thought about the game. Kaito, Kenji. I'm gonna look up these people who made the music, by the way, because I really, really like this. Anyways, I'm gonna let it run for a moment, and this was Tegami, also known as The Letter, the last part, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Really, let me know what you guys thought, because it made me cry. Let me know if it made you guys cry, and wow. Wow. If you enjoyed anywhere throughout, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below if you want to see me do more of these visual novels. I had May Sky and... I can't really remember what the other one was. May Sky and Moon something? Anyways, yeah. Pretty freaking amazing stuff. I can't really skip it. I'm not gonna go through the other options, guys. They'll probably end up doing the same thing, and yeah. Wow. This was really, really amazing. It was a great experience playing this game, and this is why I love visual novels so much. They really take you into the story without bullshit, you know? It was just simple. It was a story, and it had something to tell. Here's the creator, or the publisher, I'm sorry. D.o.l.c, I think it is. Great. Great fucking game. Really. Really, I really liked it. I'm not joking. You guys saw me cry. I don't really have anything otherwise to say, so I guess I'll end the visual novel series of Tegami, The Letter right here. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.